Hi everyone, I'm Danielle Dietrich and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about two certifications that are related to each other. They're different versions of each other. They are the Women-Owned Small Business and Economically Disadvantaged Women-Owned Small Business. The WOSB acronym, you'll sometimes hear people refer to it as WOSB. The first time I heard that, I was like, what about a B? What are you talking about? But there are so many acronyms in the federal contracting world that takes some getting used to. So if you are a woman-owned small business and you want to be eligible for certain federal contracting opportunities, these are the certifications for you and your business. These programs authorize contracting officers to restrict competition or award sole source contracts to eligible WOSBs and EDWOSBs in certain industries where the SBA determines that women-owned businesses are underrepresented or substantially underrepresented in federal procurement. So some of the qualifications are similar to the DBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Certification. Some are similar, some are different. So we're going to talk about that now. So your business must be considered a small business as defined by the SBA for your primary industry classification. And this is usually by revenues or number of employees, depending on the type of business. And those charts are easy to find if you go to the SBA website. And honestly, if your business is one that you as a business owner meets the standards to be some of these, you're most likely going to qualify for that. So the business must, of course, be at least 51% unconditionally and directly owned and controlled by one or more women who are U.S. citizens. So this is a little different from the DBE because you'll note that I said directly owned. Now, the DBE certification allows for one layer of ownership above the DBE. So people upholding companies, those sorts of things. These certifications, that's not allowed. You as the individual woman must directly own and control the business. Also note that you must be a United States citizen, not just a permanent resident. So that is another distinction to keep in mind. Now, if you're applying for the EDWOSB, the economically disadvantaged, you must show economic disadvantage. So there is criteria for that, and we'll go over that now. So your personal net worth limit for the EDWOSB is $850,000. So this is substantially lower than the personal net worth for DBE, so be aware of that. It does exclude your ownership interest in the applicant business. That's important, the applicant part, because if you own another business, even if it's just a property holding company for the real estate that your company operates out of, that must be reported and counted towards your personal net worth. Your qualified retirement accounts do not count, and your equity interest in your primary residence does not count. The next qualification to be considered economically disadvantaged is that your adjusted gross yearly income, so your AGI, over the past 3 years or less is $400,000 or less. There is some exceptions for pass-through income that really gets into the details. And so the fair market value of all your assets then may not, to qualify as economically disadvantaged, exceed $6.5 million. Again, that does not count your retirement accounts, but it does count everything else, your residence, ownership in your business, all of that. So those are some numbers to really be careful with because they can come back and give you a problem. Now, I will note these numbers, these are just for the economically disadvantaged WOSB. If you just want to apply for a woman-owned small business, you need to meet just that you qualify as a small business. Your personal income does not count. Now, how do you apply? Of course, you can apply through the SBA's online platform. I can include a link to that in the description down below. However, I've heard a lot of reports about how slow the SBA has been with processing these applications. So you may want to consider one of the 4 SBA-approved third-party certifiers. And they are, and I will also put links down below in the comments, the El Paso Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the National Women Business Owners Corporation, the U.S. Women's Chamber of Commerce, or Women's Business Enterprise National Council, also called WBENC. And the advantage of applying through some of these is that you may also get WBE certification, particularly with the WBENC certification. It's very easy. I've helped clients through that. It's just basically checking a few extra boxes. You can get both your WBE certification, which is great if you're doing business with private corporations, those sorts of things. And then you can also get the WOSB as well for your federal procurement work. So that is, I would personally recommend to any client looking to get their woman-owned small business or EDWOSB to apply through one of these third-party certifiers. I think it's going to be a faster experience. And then you can also pile on a different certification. And a lot of these third parties also offer a lot of networking opportunities, matchmaking, and different programming that you're not going to get just from the WOSB. So it's sort of a twofer deal. They do usually charge a small application fee that may or may not be dependent on the size of your business, but it's usually several $100s. So it's not a huge expense, but something to keep in mind. The other thing that you must do is you have to make sure that you are signed up under SAM, the System for Award Management. And so that is the federal system that they use. You do have to be active under that. And you have to make sure that you update your certifications annually. So your ongoing obligations once you get certified as a WOSB or EDWOSB is that you have to notify the SBA of any material change that could affect your status, such as, you came into money, you sold part of the company, that sort of thing. You have to recertify every 3 years, and you have to make sure that you can meet the work requirements for each contract that you perform. So it's a lot of information, but this is just meant to be a general overview of the process. If you have any questions about either WOSB, economically disadvantaged WOSB, or any of the alphabet stupid certifications, please reach out. I'd be happy to work with you. Thank you.